What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be talking about Takeda. Takeda is coming out very soon in MK1, and this is a character that I personally have been very hyped for. The other characters, I'm talking about every other DLC character that's came out since Injustice 2, I was never really that hyped for. I might have seen them and be like, yeah, I kind of want to play them. I don't want to get my hopes up, but my hopes are very high for Takeda. Takeda, I'm not a person big on fandom and all that stuff when it comes to fighting games, but if there's one character that I really like, it's Takeda. This character is cool. He's fun to play. He's perfectly my style and everything. I just love this character. If you have to, if there was a pop quiz on me or something off of this video, and like a year later, what character do I love the most? It's gonna be Takeda. Takeda is just fire, man. And also MK10 is my game. I love this game. This is my MK. I still play this game to this day. To this day. I love this game, and just being on this game makes me happy. Like, y'all ain't ever heard me sound like this talking about freaking MK11 or MK1. It's just, I love this game. It's so good and fun. But without further ado, let's get into Takeda. Takeda, like I said, his archetype really consists of, across all three of these variations, he has the Ronin variation, which was the best variation of all time. Ronin was definitely his best variation at a point, but it got nerfed, and it's kind of like mid-tier now, and the universal game nerfs also hurt it because he had a really good overhead, but when they slowed all the overheads down in the game, it hurt Ronin. So Ronin was the best variation of all time, but it is not the best right now. Then we have Lasher. Lasher sucks. It's always sucked. It just craps damage, but it's not good. Like, Lasher isn't even worth really talking about. Now we got the main one, Shirai Ryu. This is the best variation as of now in the game, and even when it wasn't the best, it was still the more consistent variation. This is the only variation that's actually won a tournament, and I'm 95% sure on that. His name was, let me remember, Raptor, Red Raptor. He won Combo Breaker with Takeda, and it was with Shirai Ryu. So even though Ronin was really good, Hayate did his thing with Ronin, I don't think Ronin ever won anything like real big. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I just want to show off Shirai Ryu. Let me get into showing off what this variation can do and why it's still my personal favorite character of all. Is it my favorite character of all time? He's up there. Definitely design-wise, he's my favorite character of all time, but the way he plays. So Takeda, again, a jack-of-all-trades character. Takeda has a little bit of everything. So he has a good mid. This is mid right here. This is forward 1-2. Now, what was so great about this mid is its follow-up. If you pressed 2 and 4 at the same time, you got that launcher right there. So why that launcher was very good for him is because it created very good stagger pressure. So when they're blocking, you do this right here. You do this right here. And now, since they're scared of the follow-up, off of that, then you can go in for the grab, which he has also a very cool grab. And then it loops back into his pressure, which I'm going to talk about a little more after going over everything about this mid. So what was also really good about this mid, again, the follow-up. If he does this right here, 2+4, he gets that very good follow-up. And why that follow-up is good is because it props him up for a combo. If you do a teleport, you can combo them. So you have a hit confirmable mid that's very good off the staggers that also has little ghetto mix-ups in it as well, which aren't really potent, but they were good enough. So he could do this right here and get his, basic B&B combo. He could always throw this mid out, which was really good. Or if he felt like you were just gonna, block it, He got the stagger pressure because you can hit confirm it. You can hit confirm it and just do that part of the string whenever you want. And if you wanted to go for the pressure, this character was so good. If you wanted to go for pressure instead off the mid, you do this. He has a teleport that you can cancel. You can cancel his teleport, and that made you safe. Now, some characters can armor, but against most of the cast, you just cancel your teleport and you're safe. So he has this is probably my favorite string of all time. There's so many mind games in it. And something he also had was a low kunai, a low special move. So the last hit of this move hits overhead. So what he could do is do this right here and cancel into a low to mix some people up who weren't ready for the fuzzy. Now, even if you were ready for the fuzzy, the people that like to fuzzy the move, to throw them off, you would just do the first 2 hits into the low. So you kind of have a string that really did it all for the most part. You had amazing stagger pressure, and it's really fast for a mid in this game. Let me check how fast this was. Yeah, it was 12 frames. The 12 frame hit confirmable mid that had a lot of mind games, cancel pressure to it. It was really good. And if you decided to not do the 1-2, just do the 1 instead, you got this follow-up instead. Where he doesn't do the second punch, he instantly goes into that. And that was really good for catching people that were just jumping and stuff. Like, send them back here. You know, you don't know they're going to jump. Just do that. Look at that. Gosh, you were not jumping on this character. So we went over his mid. Let's go over the mix-up department more of this character. He also had this low and this overhead. Now, this low and overhead, they are slow, but it's rightfully so because he already has this amazing mid. And even though the fact that the overhead is 25 frames and the low right here is 21 frames, that's not that far apart. It's 4 frames apart. So if you had somebody conditioned enough, they actually had to guess when you threw that overhead or low out. And off of that overhead or low, he got some really good damage. So he could do this. That's 39% for a overhead, 1 bar. And off the low, $38. So you had this amazing mid check that you did not need to spend bar on to get damage. Then when you finally had them conditioned enough, you could hit them with the overhead or low. But this overhead was just not used for 50-50s. As you can see, it has amazing range on it. So you could always like throw this out at a very good range. And if they got hit, if you didn't have any meter, you just hit confirm into that. Or press, again, like with the mid, the same ender, 2+4. And you can get a little knockdown right here. And then you can zone a bit if you want, or work your way back in. So his overhead option was definitely one of his better pressure strings because you could literally just, like I said, get all this great damage off of it. And it was really good in the neutral. And it also, you're going to notice a trend here, was very good at stopping people from jumping. We're going to have to push them back. And see, it hits them like clean out of the air. Like, even if they're jumping, send them to jump. He was really good at getting you out of the air, which was something that wasn't really easy to do in this game because this game had very terrible anti-air options for the most part when it came to getting good damage. Like, yeah, you had uppercut, but that's not going to deter somebody from jumping too much. But, which he also had a abnormally good uppercut, but like I said, uppercuts are not all that. And also with this overhead, since he has a low, the double hidden is the overhead, he had the mind games of this, which you can still fuzzy it, but it's still something that they had to look out for. And he could kind of like vortex you in a way, because, oh, you get hit by overhead? Okay, then guess overhead low. Now guess low. And it was just back to back. Like, guessing, which you could fuzzy this. It's not 100% real, but it's still something they have to look out for. If you know they're trying to fuzzy the stuff, then that's when you run up, you throw. And the throw, like I mentioned earlier, what I wanted to lead back into, the throw leads into his overhead pressure perfectly. Look at that range. Right in the range for the overhead. Now, something else this character also had that people did not use that much, and I don't understand why, because I personally think it's very good. He has hard to blockable setups. Now, y'all saw me in most of my combos, like if I do the overhead, you know, if you want damage, you go this route. Or off of damage, even with the midstream, you go that route. But he had another route if you wanted to go for a hard to blockable. So with these kunais right here, he could hold them on the ground. He could hold them and then make you guess a hard to blockable. That is potent. I don't know why more people did not do it. Probably they just wanted the meter for the damage, but I stayed throwing this hard to blockable out. Not too consistently, because some people are good at blocking it, but I just feel like some people weren't good at mixing it up. So it basically went like, whatever combo you wanted to do into the hard to blockable setup, you would do that. You would do the jump kick into this move. Also, this move right here, the spinning top move, this is safe. And yeah, he had a move he could just get in with that was safe. And it was an overhead. Now, it's very telegraphed, but if they're not ready for it, you're getting in there. And you could do some ugly stuff like get in there with it and then armor right after. You feel like they're going to challenge. It was ugly, but it could work. So, again, you would end the combo with that right there, and then you would go for your hard to blockable setup. So if you guess wrong on that, you're eating the damage it took to put you in the setup, and you're also eating the setup damage. And you basically just ended all your combos with jump kick, spin, even off the overhead. Yes. Now the layers behind it is they can of course armor, but if you let it go, that's multi-hitting. So if they try to armor out of that, they're getting their armor broke. So you kind of had to read them. If you thought they were going to disrespect your setup, you just let it go, get teleport ready, and just cancel it. So it would be something like, just be ready for it if you think that they're going to try. And you can kind of hit confirm and cancel if they didn't get hit. But yeah, it had layers to it. And also, if you thought they were going to block it right, you just did nothing. You didn't do the overhead. You just jump in, do nothing, and then do his air teleport, which was also a very good move. This air teleport is amazing. First of all, it stops people from jumping. Like I said, it's a trend here. You could not jump on this character. That's what I really loved about this character. You could not. That teleport is clipping you. So if I just do this over here. Whoa, that's another thing I'm talking about. His jump kick was amazing. But most of the cast, he's hitting you smooth out of the air. I forgot that jump kick was amazing. We're going to talk about that. But most of the cast, you're hitting them smooth out of the air like that. And even if you were guessing wrong and everything and they didn't jump, look how quick he recovers. I'm holding up. How quick he recovers. Character was so cool. So pretty much we covered his pressure game, his overhead and low game and everything, and let's make sure to go over all his specials. He had this low kunai here, which was decent for zoning. What was really good about it is the hit advantage you get off of it. So you could do like your main B&B combo, and then meaty with the low kunai. And if they try to disrespect it, you're at a range where they can't really do anything unless they have a slide. If they get hit, you get a free 50-50. So his meaty game was on point as well with the kunai. So covered the spinning move, the kunai. He had this right here also that was really good for air conversion. So if he landed this amazing jump in, and saw you get hit, he could hit confirm. Can't remember what was the optimal hit confirm. Was it back to? Just for the sake of the video, we're gonna do that. So yeah, he could get a confirm like that. It's always been weird doing that combo. I think the combo I do something with the double standing three, something like that. Yeah, there we go. So if you landed a jump in and they got hit, you hit confirm into that, get your damage off of that. Character was just cool. Also, let's go over his pokes. Very good down one, basic 7 frames, and as you can see right here, down one was plus 16 on hit. Plus 16, 12 frame mid. You got hit by that? Gotta guess, am I gonna do the mid? Once you got them respecting the mid, that's when you can start throwing out the 50-50. Now, another poke that's worth talking about, because this one ain't really worth talking about. This one. This poke was amazing. This was like the meaty poke. If you did this right here, this was plus. So let me go ahead and show you this poke right here. It was +1, which is really good for a poke. So a lot of times the Takeda player would knock you down and then kind of check you with a poke after, because he has a poke that's plus. And a lot of them would just spam this one. This was a very amazing poke. But you didn't want to abuse it too much, because like I said, even though the hit advantage and everything is good on it, you know, it still is not good as checking them like with this. But, you know, if you think that they're just going to mash something right away, you want to just gel them back into this, and you're not sure you want something low committable and everything, then you do that. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered all his special moves. The kunai, the tornado strike, the spin. Oh yeah, we need to go over fist flurry and the spear. Now this was just his basic ender. It's not like a scorpion spear or anything. It was still good, don't get me wrong, but you weren't throwing out this that much. At this range, you were throwing out this or the kunai. This is your combo ender. So like the combo I've been doing, that was your ender for the most part, because it puts him at perfect range to start that stuff right there. So that one's not really worth talking about that much. Now, this was one of Takeda's weaknesses. Now, if Takeda did not have this major weakness, I think he would be much better, but his armor is very bad. This armor can be broken so easily. Like, Takeda is full of pros, and one of the major cons is his wake up. It's terrible. It's too slow. Like, almost anybody in the game can armor break it. And, I mean, when it hits, you get some ignorant damage when it actually hits. Like I said, it was good because you could spin the bar and get a launcher off of it. And in this game, where they took away most people's armored launcher, that was actually decent, but it's just too slow. So that's what this move was used for. It was really good for Ronin because it allowed him to get, you know, good combo damage. But for this variation, it's not really worth using unless you want the armor. This variation, you use this to get your launchers, or the teleport cancel to get your launchers. So yeah, that pretty much goes over Takeda, really. He was a very good jack of all trades character that had really good strings, really good options, really good pressure, really good Oki, just really good mobility. Pretty much had everything you needed besides good armor. And if you're wondering why he isn't really considered like a top 5 character, even though I'm saying he's this good and everything, there was just characters that were better. See, this was the thing about Mortal Kombat. Like, people complained about the game being broken or whatever, but there were so many good characters that it really didn't matter. And think about this. This is a character with all of these tools. He's that good. He is a high mid-tier character in this game. Imagine the other characters in this game, how good they are. So, yeah, I think I pretty much went over everything with Takeda. I just wanted to show y'all how this character worked, all the important strings and everything he had in his kit, because I hope that everyone is hyped like me for how good he's going to be in MK11. Ooh, I did not mean to say MK11. I hope everyone is hyped for how he's going to turn out in MK1, because I just can't wait. I'm so hyped. Like, this is my favorite Mortal Kombat game. I really wish that we could just all go back to this game and stop being disappointed by their releases. This game, everyone loves this game. This game literally still has a scene till this day. Injustice 2 doesn't. Mortal Kombat 11 doesn't. But this game still has a scene to this day. I wonder why. I said something in the start of the game's life cycle. I was like, in MK1, I was saying there's no way that people are really going to stay playing MK11 after MK1 comes out, because that game actually does suck. And look, nobody's playing the game. But MK10 literally has a whole scene. Shout out to Destroyer and Unbearable Skill. They have kept that scene alive. You don't see people keeping Injustice 2, MK11 alive. This is the game that everybody comes back to because it's amazing. So many options. People are still finding new stuff to this day. It's a great game. And gosh, I miss it every time I talk about it. But again, that was me going over Takeda. Good jack of all trades character with a lot of options. And if you didn't see me go over something in his kit, it's probably because it really wasn't that important. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you would have played Takeda based off of what you saw about him in this video. Nickopz out. Hope y'all have a good day. And join the Discord. Join the Discord. Trying to revamp my Discord.